Hey you, yeah you. Are you new to government contracting and you've been pursuing service-based contracts via Sam.gov, where you put in countless hours of assembling your team, putting together your responses to those RFPs, only to find out you didn't win, and you're feeling that the system may be slightly rigged against you, and you're just chasing your tail? Well, hey, don't give up. There is a better option, and it's called selling products to the Defense Logistics Agency, better known as the DLA. Hey, I'm the DLA Guru, and I've been in this space for the past 20 years, and I've put together a fantastic YouTube channel that's packed with information and hacks to give you some insight on how to position yourself to sell to the DLA. Take a look at my channel and subscribe today. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. The DLA Guru is back in the building. Back in the building. Yes, indeed. Oh man, so excited to be back in the building. It's been a long week. You know, I'm not sure how long your week has been, but it's been a tremendously long week for us over here. Just looking forward to going live today. Today is the bi-monthly scheduled live stream closed circuit training strictly for my brigadier generals and my Patreon member community. Yes, today is your day to cam up and mic up with yours truly, the DLA Guru, to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. So as you guys begin to roll into this particular training, let me know in the comments section that you are in the building, and that will be a nice trigger for me to switch over to my closed circuit training strictly designed for my brigadier general community here on YouTube. That is members who have elevated to the illustrious status of brigadier general, where you get to come up and mic up with me here in StreamYard to talk anything and everything related to the DLA for about an hour and a half or so. We'll typically have that training go until about 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, and it's now 11 o'clock, as well as for my Patreon community. And you guys know where to find the links. In order to meet me over here, just go into the community forum tab over here in YouTube. You will have a unique link that will bring you over here into StreamYard, as well as in the Patreon community. The same thing applies to you. Click those links and meet me over here in StreamYard. I'll have you guys in the waiting room for a minute. And then, we'll go ahead and go close circuit. But until then, I have a fantastic agenda for my subscriber community. Yes, that is you, the subscribers that show up and absorb all this great content that I've put out here on YouTube in order to empower and inspire you for success with the DLA. Well, guess what, guys? I got yet another slam dunk of a presentation to provide to you regarding some things that's shaking up with the DLA. And I'm really excited to talk a little bit about that today. All right, so fantastic. So again, as you guys are rolling in, feel free to drop some comments in the chat there, because I try to field any and all comments as they come in. I'll kind of be swinging from the presentation and looking at comments. So if you have questions regarding the DLA, some of the things that you've been challenged with, feel free to drop that comment or question in the chat, and I'll be sure within the allotted time to field those questions. But hey, you guys are here today to learn a little bit about what the DLA Guru is cooking today. Yes, the DLA Guru, I am cooking a lot in the kitchen, and today's agenda is going to be talking a little bit about what's going on with the DLA small business programs. Yes, 2025 has been it's been an interesting start to the year, with the new president that's in office and some shakeups going on with the federal government. Well, guess what? The DLA, they are definitely standing up and meeting us where we are as small businesses. And the Office of Small Business Programs has released a new tool. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about that tool, how the DLA, they recognize that, hey, they need us. They need small businesses in order to support what the warfighter needs as far as products. And they are starting to release some new interesting tools that should hopefully help make it a little easier to do business with the DLA, to have you understand a little bit more about who the DLA is, in addition to all of my fantastic content that I have in my catalog, as well as other folks in the GovCon space that are spreading the great news and providing training and coaching services to small businesses that are now getting involved in the government contracting arena, especially with that of the Defense Logistics Agency, the world's largest customer. All right, looks like we got 4 concurrent viewers in the building. Fantastic. And 1 like. Hey, guys, I know I got to win your like, so sit back and relax and enjoy what the DLA Guru has cooking today. Hopefully I can get some more likes. As you know, I love the likes to be in parity to my views. But for those of you who are new to me and new to my content, My name is Kiwi Hendricks. I am the U.S. Government Sales Manager with the National Material Supply Company. We have been servicing the U.S. military by way of federal contracting, by way of the Defense Logistics Agency for the past 20 plus years. And I've coined the name the DLA Guru for more reasons than one. One, because I've skinned my knee, bumped my head enough, and got enough successes under my belt to coin the name the DLA Guru. And I just feel very confident, especially in being in this space of the consulting space for the past 2.5 years. I've helped a lot of folks hit the ground running to winning contracts with the Defense Logistics Agency and growing their business in this GovCon space. So, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm really glad that you're joining me today. Thank you. And in order to drop comments in the comment section, you must be a subscriber to the channel. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything, means a ton to me, and it helps to spread my message and to get the algorithm cooking, because YouTube is like, hey, if people are subscribing, this guy must know what he's talking about. So it spreads that out to a broader audience. And by all means, hit that like button. If there's anything that you find in any of my videos that you guys are like, wow, I didn't know this, DLA Guru really helped me, hit that like button, because that definitely means a ton to me to help grow my content to a broader audience. And by all means, share. I think the last time I checked, our subscriber, we're around 2,800 subscribers. So we're 200 subscribers shy of hitting my goal for the end of this month of 3,000 subscribers. And guess what, guys? Sharing my content to your friends and family and business colleagues who you think might be inspired by some of the message, some of the content, some of the things that I'm trying to get out there to help empower you to get your piece of the DLA pie. Keep in mind, the DLA spends $50 billion a year buying namely products in support of the U.S. military. So, hey guys, if you share my content to at least 2 or 3 friends or family members, we can meet that goal with you, working with me, helping me to get to 3,000 subscribers. I just need a little help, a little love back to the DLA Guru from all the love that I'm giving to you guys, because it's not easy to do what I'm doing here. And by all means, hit that notification bell, because you don't want to be a day late or a dollar short as I drop relevant content to both empower and inspire you for success with the DLA. That is my mantra, the DLA Guru. Okay, guys, before getting into today's topic as well, I want to just let you know a little bit about a product that we offer to support you with your DLA contracts. They are affordable, pre-printed, compliant, mil standard 129 unit ID labels. Keep in mind, the DLA is basically like a Home Depot. They are just a huge warehouse of products. And if you go into Home Depot, or if you go into Lowe's, or you go into Walmart, Target, any of those types of places, and you're buying products and you're seeing those products on the shelves, all those products have to be tagged a certain way for inventory management. And that's what the mil standard 129 unit ID label is. It's basically like the UPC code would be for a product in the commercial space, but it's a military tag, right? So as you get these contracts, you have to literally bag and tag each product that you ship to the designated DLA depot. And that is in your contract terms and conditions, for those of you who don't know. And the mil standard 129 unit ID labels look something like what you see on screen there. We offer them in the 3-inch by 2-inch dimension. That is the smallest compatible label that you can print. I recommend the smaller labels, because a lot of times when you're bagging and tagging smaller products, these tags are perfect because they go pretty much with any type of product. And, even if they're big products, these 3-inch by 2-inch labels are fantastic. And we offer these labels in partnership with eJCP.com. All right. They offer real right products at the great price, and they help to get your goals met as it relates to you being a contractor in support of the Defense Logistics Agency. So let me go ahead and go over to eJCP's website, because I want to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what it looks like when you get to the site. And I'm also going to hit this in the chat below. Go ahead and put that link in the chat so you can kind of see what the DLA Guru is talking about as it relates to these. Let me go back over to the website. Hit the wrong button. But yeah, when you're over here on the website here, literally that landing page that's in the chat, it takes you over here. You can see that the labels are going for 15 cents per label. Keep in mind, guys, I researched it. There are a lot of companies that are, well, actually not a lot. There's a handful of companies that are offering these same labels for around 45 cents a label. And you may say, well, DLA Guru, how are they able to offer it for such a cheap price? Well, because it's the DLA Guru. I'm here to help you empower and inspire you for success with the DLA. I'm not here to price gouge you guys. So this introductory price point that's here. We're getting a lot of orders that are they're coming in every week. We got orders coming in or people saying, hey, this is a pretty cool little deal. Really affordable unit ID labels. We can get them. They're compliant. And we don't have to run into those quality notifications by sending the wrong type of labels on the wrong type of media. Because keep in mind, the labels have to be weatherproof because you never know if the products are going to be in a wet condition, a dry condition, or how long the labels may sit on shelves. So you don't want like sunlight to bleach the labels and things like that. So there are military specifications regarding these labels, and you can find them fully compliant at hecdistribution.com. Really self-explanatory. When you get to the website, literally there are five-step process. It tells you just kind of click and read the process here, as because I'm not going to go through all the 5 steps, but really simple the way that this works. And if you need some assistance, you can also book a 30-minute DLA label requirements consultation as well by clicking the link that you see here on the site. That will get you over to talking to yours truly, the DLA Guru, and we can talk a little bit about your label requirements and anything under the sun as it relates to your packaging and labeling, as it relates to doing business, well, making sure you're in compliant to doing business with the DLA. And as you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of fields that basically you transcribe the information directly from your contract and just load it right into these different fields. And then as you scroll down to the bottom, if you click out, you put all the relevant information as it's asking for you here. You put the number of labels that you need to satisfy your contract and hit add to cart, and you're off to the races. All right. So this is just a great way that you can just dumb down all of the stringent requirements as it relates to doing business with the DLA. That's what the DLA Guru is here to do, guys. I'm just here to offer as much value as I can to help you along your DLA journey. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get back to the regularly scheduled program while you guys are here. We are here to talk a little bit about the 2025 DLA Small Business Programs. Yes, I always tell all my student clients, you want to get involved with the DLA Small Business Programs that represent each one of the 7 major commands. That is the primary commands with the DLA. That is like DLA Land and Maritime, DLA Aviation, DLA Energy, DLA Troop Support, so forth and so on. You want to connect with the Office of Small Business Programs to find out a little bit more about those agencies. And so what the DLA has done this year, they've released the new Supplier Pathway Program. All right, so it's a new program. I've read an article that I'll be sharing with you in just a second that talks a little bit about what this new Supplier Pathway Program is. And within this article, the DLA last week announced the release of the product and service search tool. All right, it's a fantastic tool. I kind of played around with it a little bit, and it kind of, for newcomers to the DLA, I think is going to be very beneficial for you guys to learn a little bit about this tool, and we're going to be showcasing that in a second. But let's see, I want to just cover a couple of comments that are rolling in here. We got Brother Adrian in the building. Going to give you the round of applause for the first, yes, the very first comment. You are my first comment in today's chat, Brother Adrian. Appreciate it. He says, what are you cooking today, Mr. DLA Guru? Yes, Brother Adrian, I am definitely cooking a great brew of information and tools that should hopefully assist you in figuring out what in the world should you be selling to the DLA. All right, so let's go ahead and move over to what this article is all about, because I got really excited about this article, guys. And I'll also put this information in the chat in a second here. But the DLA has a huge publication that they have articles that they release on a daily basis, talking about anything and everything related to the DLA. And I ran across this article talking about the Supplier Pathway Program. All right, I believe this article was released on January the 16th, 2025. So again, it was released last week. And this article is, let me go ahead and read a little bit of this article here. All right, it says, small business owners interested in contracting with the Defense Logistics Agency can now use a new search function on DLA's small business webpage to get contact information for the supply chain that manages the items and services they provide. All right, that's key, guys, because a lot of folks are saying, hey, I sell this. And so this tool is here to kind of help bridge the gap there. All right, let's keep reading the article here. It says the new tool is the first iteration of a more extensive supplier pathway program intended to help entrants navigate government contract processes and learn the nuances of working with the DLA. All right, so it's so funny reading this article, guys, because I'm thinking to myself, the DLA has been around for about 60 years. We have been contracting with the DLA for about over 20 years, and they're just launching these tools now 20 years later. This lets you know that the DLA, they're just, it's a government contracting agency. I mean, I'm glad that they are putting forth this effort, but man, I wish they would have done this stuff like 20 years ago. Imagine what it was like being a vendor back in the 90s when I first got involved with the DLA. It was like, figure it out. And guess what? I did. Hence the DLA Guru. That's why I'm here, guys. But for those of you that just can't connect with me, it's great that you're in the right place at the right time where the DLA is recognizing the small businesses are the backbone of the United States economy. They've always recognized it because 80% of their procurements are with small businesses, but it's only a handful, I mean, literally a pocket full of companies that are getting the lion's share of doing business with the DLA. So they are beginning to get the word out, and they're recognizing that, hey, that's risky. We need to probably diversify and increase our vendor base. And they're doing it by releasing these types of tools. All right, back on to the article. It says here, quote, arming small businesses with the information they need to create pathways. Contracting with us is just one way we're working to expand our industrial base partnerships, said DLA Vice Director Brad Bunn. Stronger ties with small businesses will ultimately strengthen our industrial base and lead us to solutions for tough challenges like logistics in a contested environment. Okay, so Vice Director Brad Bunn, he's kind of understanding that, hey, we probably need to strengthen our industrial base, with the pandemic and everything else that happened. The industrial base in the United States has gotten decimated, guys, and the DoD recognizes this. So they're putting out the word that, hey, even with President Trump talking a little bit about, the tariffs and making sure that America's economy, the industrial base is stimulated. This is all kind of a flow down to a overarching plan that makes this opportunity for you as a small business owner to get involved in understanding how to contract with the Defense Logistics Agency in support of the world's largest military is a great emerging opportunity that is recession proof. And so, hey, man, this article is just everything and a bag of chips. I'm telling you. All right, let's keep reading. It says users only need to enter the supply or service they wish to provide, then hit search to get results that include a product or service code and the name of the DLA supply chain that manages the item or service. Links to a specific supply chain are included on the page to give prospective vendors information ranging from explanations of procurement processes to policies and procedures relevant to doing business with the agency. It says new suppliers are often unaware that DLA has multiple supply chains or that goods and services are arranged by codes to help facilitate management, said DLA Small Business Director, Danielle Kurz. All right. Many businesses have not contracted with us before. It says many businesses who have not contracted with us before do not know what a national stock number or a federal supply class is, and government jargon can be confusing, Kurz added. We want to make it easier for new entrants, that is you guys that are taking a look at the comment at the content. Looks like we got 11 folks in the building. Fantastic. And 4 likes. Hey guys, get the likes up. The DLA Guru. Hey, I'm doing all the reading, doing all the work. Get those likes up if you like what the DLA Guru is cooking, because they're saying that they want to make it easier for new entrants to see where they fit into our supply chains, then help them connect with small business specialists and program managers focused on their areas. All right. This is everything that I've been talking about as it relates to the Office of Small Business Programs. The DLA is telling you that is where you go. You get to the Office of Small Business Programs with the respective commands, and hopefully this tool, and I'll showcase the tool to you in a second. Let's finish reading this article. Is where it's at, guys, just to get started for those newcomers. It says, while in the initial stage of the Supplier Pathway Program gives small businesses an entry point, the next will outline steps they must partake or take to partner with the agency. We want suppliers to clearly understand the steps they need to take in their particular pathway to be successful. We will provide a roadmap of certifications they'll need and associated timelines for how long it might take, Cruz added. A supplier who specializes in hazardous waste disposal needs certifications from the Environmental Protection Agency, for example, while a hardware supplier may need certain certifications for their quality management system for certain products, i.e. ISO 9001, guys, right? All right, so then it goes on to say, these new streamlined pathways are part of our broader effort to increase industrial-based resiliency by increasing access for new entrants to DLA supplier base, improving our supplier portal, and building tools for our employees to identify market sectors that could benefit from new acquisition strategies, all of which will lead to a more resilient and competitive marketplace, said DLA Acquisition Director Matt Beebe. Curtis' team will roll out enhancements to supplier pathways throughout fiscal year 2025. So this is the beginning, guys. This is just ground floor, right? Debuting iterations incrementally will help small businesses benefit from the tool as the agency continues to shape over time, she said. We also welcome ideas from industry on things that they'd like the tool to do, Curtis added. Supplier Pathways targets new entrants, but also current suppliers, that is companies like ours who have been in the game for a minute, or service providers considering expanding their businesses. It also allows vendors to get helpful information on their own 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, rather than to have to wait until business hours to call a DLA office. So this is basically just the online portal. Curtis says she's confident Supplier Pathways will help reduce barriers for small businesses and increase the number of qualified vendors to provide crucial parts and modern technology. And we'll close it out. She says, we're really excited about the relationships this will help us build with small vendors. Kurz added, there are always opportunities for them at DLA, as each of our supply chains has critical gaps that they can help us fill. All right. So the DLA's Office of Small Business Programs coming down from the director, they recognize that there are gaps within the supply chain. That is the no bid list. There are a lot of companies that just don't deal with the DLA. So you guys being small businesses, government contractors, the excellent government contractor community, the DLA is a great customer to get in bed with, to learn a little bit more about how you can position yourself to assist the warfighter with their efforts. Hey, my content is a great start for you as well. In order to get involved with this, I'm so excited about this article, guys. Now, you may be asking a little bit about that product and services search tool. This is the tool, and I'll also add this in the chat. Let me go ahead and drop the tool in the chat there for you. Here, 1 second. I thought I had the tool saved there. Okay. I'm going to drop that down in the chat. So if you guys want to play along with me, it's in the chat for those who are active on the live stream. And for those of you who may be looking at this on the replay, I'll make sure the links are in the description of the video as well. So, but back over to this particular search tool, I played around with the other day, guys, and I thought it was kind of a cool tool. All right, so I'm not going to labor you with all that, but the tool basically happens here, where let's say there's a particular keyword that you may be interested in providing to the DLA, and you just want to find out a little bit more information about that product, because a lot of times you want to get aligned with products that there may be a high demand for, right? First thing that I ran the search the other day, so I know it works really, really well. And manifolds. So manifolds are more on the manufacturing side of the coin. But if you want to get into manufacturing, which I highly recommend, because the DLA's industrial base is not just commercial off-the-shelf products. They're talking about custom manufactured products. All right. And the DLA, a lot of the U.S. military stuff is not something that's readily in the commercial market. So it's a lot of customization that goes on to support the warfighter. So if your business is aligned with the manufacturing base, you are in a really, really good position to do well with the DLA. But let's go ahead and do a search for this, the keyword manifold. All right. A lot of folks may say, well, DLA Guru, what the hell is a manifold? Well, you kind of got to be in the space to understand what manifolds are. My engineering background, it means a lot to me. But just in fact of putting in the word manifold, and I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can get more on the screen here when I'm scrolling. But you'll see by putting in the keyword manifold, it's a particular product, and it can fall within refrigeration and air conditioning. It can fall within fuel, like DLA energy. All those types of commands are looking to purchase manifolds. But it's kind of cool to kind of go through where they, instead of listing the FSC code, they're doing the PSC code, which is the product or service code, which I thought was kind of interesting because the DLA is really about federal supply classes, and they don't really do a lot with the PSC code. So I'm not exactly sure why they have PSC codes here. I know it's linked to Sam.gov and things of that nature, but the DLA, the U.S. military, is more about FSC code. So that's a kind of a question mark in my mind as to why they were, launched the tool this way. But again, they're showing the supply chains that care about manifolds. And what I really like is this last column here, guys, where they're talking about obligated dollars. All right. So obligated dollars, meaning this is the kind of spend that's are in these particular product categories. So we're seeing $74,000 there, right, for that particular product service code. And you can see it's a duplicate product service code, but they're breaking it out even more. They're doing a deeper dive into the NAS codes as it relates to that PSC code, right? So NAS codes that follow within these product categories, they're kind of showing you where the spin is. I mean, you'll see these numbers kind of like moving around all over the place. And it's just basically the DLA's way, the way I'm interpreting this tool, is kind of giving you a little bit more intel into who the particular command could be with the NAS code that's surrounding that particular keyword and what the potential spin may be for those types of products. So it's a fantastic tool. As you guys know, to be successful in government contracting is really about doing the intel. You got to do your homework. Either you're looking at FPDS, kind of seeing what the incumbents had done in the past, and then also just kind of understanding more about what those agencies are buying, because guess what, guys, this is all public information. There are no secrets in government contracting. It's all public by federal law because they're using tax dollars to do these procurements. So it's a mandate that the government discloses all the beans. They spill the beans, but you just got to know where to go and how to pull the beans together and how to make it make sense. And that's what, a lot of what my content is all about in the space, is kind of giving you guys, saying that, hey, let me just pull this down to layman's term, make it real. We're in the process of kind of rebranding the DLA Vendor Network, and we're talking about, the DLA from a vendor's perspective, right? From vendor to vendor, mano y mano, right? Not from the government to the vendor, but from the vendor to the vendor, because I think that there's a lot that can be, not necessarily lost in translation, but being able, from this perspective, being a vendor, to look at what the DLA is talking about, I can kind of put it into layman's terms, because I have to make it make sense for our company as well, because we are an active vendor with the DLA. All right. So that's what this is really all about. I got excited, especially like looking at the dollars obligated. I mean, here's one: DLA Land and Maritime, as far as manifolds, PSC code 4130. Of course, all these codes can be translated into FSC codes and national stock numbers as well. If you're using third-party software tools, I talk a lot about my Intertech Inform and how we use Intertech Inform, but there are other, there's GovWin, there's NSN Now, there's DIBBS Navigator. There are a bunch of different tools that are out there. Whatever floats your boat, guys, sign up and get you a third-party tool so you can kind of couple this information along with third-party tools to really know how to position your company and what you want to go after, and how to have those, partnerships, and leverage all this information to be competitive, because this is what it's all about. No one's going to just do it for you guys. You're going to have to pull up on it, network, talk to folks, get involved with communities in order to make this stuff make sense. Let me scroll down a little bit more. I'm not going to deliberate all my time on this tool, because you guys got it in the chat. You can play around with it yourself. And if you have any questions and you want to reach out to yours truly, DLA Guru, to talk shop, there are many, many ways that you guys can reach out to me And we'll talk a little bit more about that in my presentation today. But hey, here's one category is $2.5 million dollars obligated. Now, I'm not exactly sure if these dollars obligated are for current contracts that are currently under obligation, or if they're looking for like forecast for 2025. I would probably think, because they're using the term dollars obligated, I'm thinking that these are contracts that are currently active contracts, whether they may be IDIQ type contracts or active contracts that the DLA has released to small, 80% small businesses, because keep in mind, they do about 80% of their spend with small businesses. All right, cool. And I'm just keep scrolling down here and see how, man, this thing goes down, 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 way, way down. All right, cool. And then there was also another link that I saw in the article as we were talking, and I want to click on that too. Small business webpage. So let me click on this little link here. So also, when you read that article, which I'll be sure to, here, let me drop this article in the chat as well, so you can kind of read the article yourself. You don't have to rely on the DLA Guru. Let me go ahead and give you the article. Drop this in the chat. Okay, it's in the chat for those of you who are in the building with the DLA Guru today. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about their small business programs homepage too, because they've updated the homepage here. But like, hey, you know what? We got some love coming into the comment section here today. Let's go ahead and let's throw a little love up there. We got Effie in the building. Hey, what's up, Effie? Effie's she's a part of the DLA Vendor Network community. In fact, hey, it's good to see you too. And thank you for joining us over here in this live stream, Effie. Pleasure to have you there. Effie says, she says, technology has improved tremendously as well. Yes, technology with the DLA has improved tremendously. And let's see, we got Brother Adrian in the building. He says, we are facing challenges with the manufacturer and vendors in becoming a certified distributor. I would appreciate your advice on how to handle this situation. Thank you. Hey, Brother Adrian, there are more than one way to skin the cat, man. Like, I would recommend that you probably want to book a consult with me so we can talk a little bit more about the manufacturer in particular, what type of product are we talking about, what commands are you going after? Because sometimes you may be, let's say, trying to, connect with Boeing. Boeing is a little skittish on the types of companies that it allows to buy direct from them. One, because a lot of this stuff is ITAR controlled, export controlled, and you just don't want certain products getting into the wrong hands, because there's a lot of liability for those OEMs when things go wrong. I remember working with Boeing back in my younger engineering days, and there was this a lawsuit that Boeing was going through with the U.S. government, because there's some machine tools that they had used to manufacture export controlled products, for some of the military warbirds. Some of those machine tools, and which they are is like end mills, had found their way outside of America and wound up in the hands of China. And there was a big hoopla, and this is back in the the late 90s, early 2000s, where the Boeing was kind of going through hell because they had some type of leakage, and somehow these tools got exported incorrectly. I don't know all the details of it, but I just remember hearing a little bit of conversation about Boeing was going through a lawsuit with the U.S. State Department as related to how those tools got into the wrong hands. So if you kind of look at it from that perspective, I think a lot of times OEMs are a little skittish about letting newcomers into the game. Now, in the event that you're running into those types of issues, there are, again, more than one way to skin the cat. And Brother Adrian, I think I can provide you with a little bit of insight. I just need a little bit more intel from you. And I don't think that this space is probably the best space to kind of have that conversation. So I highly recommend, man, you book a session with me where we can come up and mic up and talk a little bit more about your particular condition, because I may be able to shed some light. Everything is about consulting. And if I can't shed any light, hey, I'll do my best to provide you with resources or places that you may be able to go to get some answers to some of the challenges that you may be facing there. All right, let's keep going. We got Brother Terry Robbins in the building. Let me go ahead and give him a round of applause. I'm not familiar with the name and the profile image there, so I take it, Terry, that you may be a newcomer to the building. Hey guys, look, we got 10 likes in the building. Fantastic, thank you. He says, hey Kiwi, it's great to tune in, and I really appreciate the comment there. Brother Terry, welcome to the DLA Vendor Network community here in the public space over here on YouTube. Really, really appreciate the comment because, man, any type of engagement, it just means a ton to me because it means like the DLA Guru is saying something that you guys want to hear. So thank you for that comment, Brother Terry. And again, welcome. Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about back over here. Let's talk a little bit about the DLA Small Businesses new website. All right. So as I scroll through the website, I think it's a cool site for you guys to take a look at. And again, just click on the article, read the article. There's a link in the article where you can find their new small business website. They just released this. Probably, I don't know the exact date, the circa of this, but it looks brand new to me. I like the graphic that's there. But there's just a lot of information for small businesses where the DLA is finally 20 years later. Well, actually 60 years later, because I've only been involved with it for about 20 years. But 60 years later, they're really trying to utilize the internet to be a place where you guys can come and just click around and get involved and learn a little bit more about what the DLA is all about. I do really like the interface. I think it's pretty cool. Looks like it's easy to navigate. And they were kind of, talking a little bit about the dollars and cents. Again, guys, just because, you can fact check me. 80% of the procurements that the DLA awards are with small businesses, so they're talking about 80% of DLA suppliers are small businesses, and they award a lot of contracts to small businesses. And they're telling you that out of that 50 billion, they're spending about 20 billion of it strictly for small business set aside contracts, guys, so hey, that's a nice chunk of change, man. That's a nice chunk of change in 2024. These are 2024 numbers. I think they've done more spend in past years, but I guess, as of 2024, they're saying that about 20 billion of that 50 billion was spent with small businesses. And they say 44% of DLA prime contract dollars went to small businesses in 2024. All right. So, all right, well, it's a little bit down. It's a downtick. So in 2023, 2022, it was about 80%. Now it's down to about roughly 44%. And I think it has a lot to do with small businesses have kind of moved away from doing business with the DLA. And hence you're finding Office of Small Business Program saying, hey, don't leave, come back. And they're trying to find out ways to get small businesses more engaged, more interested in getting involved with servicing and supporting the DLA with their product distribution efforts. All right. So great websites. I'm just really excited about what the DLA is doing and excited to share this information with you guys as well. Hopefully you kind of loving what the DLA Guru is cooking as it relates to all that is. And, for those of you who, again, may be new to my content and what we're doing over here in the YouTube space, I always talk a lot about seeking government coaching and training. We talk a lot about that because it's, why in the world would you want to try to skin your knee and bump your head by doing this on your own, right? So I just think one of the ways that you do this more successfully than what happened with our company in the past 20 years is by seeking government contracting, coaching, and training. And guys, I will tell you, in my 20-year journey, there were no coaches. We didn't even have the internet, back in the 90s. It wasn't what we have today in order to spread the good news. So getting involved with folks who have tried and proven, bumped their head, skinned their knee, and had the challenges and found ways to overcome challenges. Coaching and training, I think, will be paramount for you to just give you, give you the cliff notes in essence of how you can position yourself to be a part of this great emerging opportunity. What I recommend, and Sister Effie in the building, she was my very, very first member to join us over in LinkedIn. We launched 2 Thursdays ago our very first DLA Vendor Network Roundtable, and that was part of my LinkedIn community of the DLA Vendor Network. And Effie, she was the only one that signed up. We had 20 seats open. Only one person signed up, and Effie and I, we got tired of talking. And it was just a fantastic evening of talking a little bit about challenges that Effie was experiencing as related to her small business and doing business with the DLA. And again, just me receiving that feedback and finding ways that I may be able to give some guidance. That's what's happening in our DLA Vendor Network community. Yours truly, sponsored by the DLA Guru. And, I think being a part of the DLA Vendor Network community here on YouTube and in Patreon and over on LinkedIn, I have different levels of coaching and consulting that I'm doing and conversations, because it's all about starting the conversation about DLA contracting. The DLA themselves, the Office of Small Business Program, they're putting those tools in place to try to help. But, federal mandates and federal law prohibits them from doing the kind of thing, the type of work that I'm doing as it relates to community, creating communities, vendors, communities built by vendors for vendors, right? This is what the DLA Vendor Network is all about. And I highly recommend you guys get involved, because we're going to be talking about teaming opportunities. We're going to be talking about manufacturing, things that Brother Adrian is asking in the chat there of like, what are these issues that we are all experiencing? Because keep this in mind, guys, even our company experiences issues even 20 years later. I always say I'm the DLA guru, but I'm always learning. I'm always developing myself, because the federal contracting marketplace is an ever-changing marketplace. It doesn't stay the same. The warfighter has different requirements depending on what's going on at any given moment in the world. It's how the United States government, the Department of Defense, is figuring out ways of intel of protecting our borders and fighting the wars overseas that are in the interest of the United States government. That is going to be an ever-changing landscape. It's an ever-changing community or marketplace of what type of products they're going to need. I mean, we got all of the drones and things. Guess what, guys? There's going to be an emerging community of manufacturers that have spare parts for drones and anything to service. I mean, drones, that's a fairly new military technology. Drones weren't a thing 20 years ago. All right. So if you like to be involved with a customer where it doesn't get stale, the DLA is a great customer for that. And creating these types of communities, I think, will be fantastic for just the growth of the small business base within it. And it's very, very ground floor. Now, you may say, DLA Guru, sounds good. How do I get involved? Guess what? Meet me over in LinkedIn. That's where you get involved. I think here, yeah, I did put it here. You see here below my chin, you can find me on LinkedIn. Just literally go on LinkedIn, create your profile, search for me on LinkedIn at the @ the DLA Guru. You will find my profile pops up, and then you DM me over there on LinkedIn and say, hey, DLA Guru, take a look at my profile. Be interested in joining your members only DLA Vendor Network community over here on LinkedIn. It's free. The only thing that you have to, but it's by invite only. So it's a free community, but it's by invite only. I think we have about 80 companies and manufacturers alike that are in that community now. Not a lot of conversations going on because it's still ground floor. I think 80 companies is great, but man, look, we need thousands of companies in that community, because I think that's when folks can kind of start putting out APBs like, hey, I got this issue, like Brother Adrian. Hey, you put that in the chat and let some other vendors who are part of the DLA Vendor Network kind of talk with you. I mean, all this can't be on the weight of the DLA Guru. I'm just here to kind of create the community, get it started, guys. But I need men and women, the few, the proud, and the brave, to get involved with supporting my vision of creating a DLA Vendor Network community. It didn't exist prior. It doesn't exist. Let's build it. Why not build it with me? Right. So that's what that's all about. Now, you guys may say, sounds good, DLA Guru, but how do I get in contact with you? Okay, I got LinkedIn. I'll see you over there. But I'm kind of interested in finding out if just being involved with the DLA is a good thing for me as well. And what I recommend you do, guys, if you want to find out more about if the DLA Vendor Network community is right for you, hey, you guys want to, book a 15-minute pre-screening phone call with yours truly, the DLA Guru. I think that might be a great way of doing that, because we will be able to get on the phone, align our schedules together, talk a little bit about your business, where you are in your business cycle, your journey, your GovCon space, talk a little bit about Sam.gov, if you've done some services contracts, if you got something under your belt, or if you're just brand new and green and you're just kind of trying to figure out how you can position yourself. I got a ton of training programs that I'll talk a little bit about shortly that can support you along your journey. And again, I keep talking about joining our members only community. Right now, pinned to the comments in the chat, you'll see a link for my Brigadier Generals and my Patreon community member community. One, Brigadier General, if you are a subscriber, you're not a member of my channel, highly recommend you consider upgrading to the illustrious status of Brigadier General. You can meet me over here in StreamYard today. It's about 11:44. I don't have any brigadier generals or Patreon members currently in my waiting room. So it means, yeah, they, hey, they may not necessarily need to lean in on me today. But if you got some contracts, some solicitations that you're going after, and you'd like to talk a little bit about me, talk a little bit about that with me today, you'll have me until 1 o'clock Central Standard Time today over here in StreamYard to talk anything and everything related to the DLA. All you do is click that pinned comment that's in the chat to meet me over here and upgrade your account today. And not only will you talk to me today, but there's about 21 videos in that closed circuit members on the community of all the training that I've done in the DLA Vendor Network, Brigadier General, and Patreon community membership, where you'll have access to. You can sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper, and hear it from the horse's mouth. Hear problems that other vendors have been experiencing and solutions that have been provided within this particular DLA Vendor Network community over here on YouTube. It's available to you guys. All you got to do is invest in you, invest in the content, and that might help to 10x your experience with doing business with the DLA as well. Highly recommend that you consider that. Hey, DLA Guru, that's what I'm all about, man. Providing value, provide as much value as I can. We talked a little bit about the mill standard 129 unit ID labels. That's value, nothing but value. That's what this is all about. It means a ton to me to help you guys be successful. And any of the Effie, I mean, you can throw it in the chat, Effie, if you believe, just talking with me last week, that I'm all about helping small businesses. I don't know. It's just a part of time in my life where I'm at right now. I just want to help as many people as I can before I check on out of here, right? So this is where you guys just met me in my season. This is my season. So get involved, all right? So if you're interested in learning more about like coaching programs or training programs, and you're just like new to government contracting, don't know where to get started with DLA, I offer a 360-degree DLA contracting training program. It's comprised of three different training programs all in one. That's why I named it the 360-degree, because it's going to give you everything you need to know from the pre-award, that is the 8 steps to successful federal supply contract bid submissions to the DLA. I consider that my pre-award masterclass. It's fantastic. It's going to give you all the tools of getting registered with the DLA. It's going to tell you some of the third-party software tools that we use and how we use them, and how you may be able to employ those tools with your business in order to position yourself to successfully bid on DLA contracts, how to scan the national stock number database and find NSNs and translate those NSNs to how you can find suppliers, whether it be Granger or Fastenal and those types of companies that can kind of just give you an idea of what it's like to be a DLA vendor. You'll get that all in the pre-award masterclass. And I also offer the post-award masterclass. It's the 4 steps to general post-award processes to successfully complete federal supply contracts with the DLA. Post-award process, man, it's all about bagging and tagging, showing you how to properly bag and tag using those mill standard 129 unit ID labels, the right kind of boxes, where you put the labels and where you ship it and how you ship it, and then also how you invoice the DLA. The DLA does not provide a lot of information from a vendor perspective of how to properly invoice the DLA using the wide area workflow. You'll learn all that in the post-award masterclass, and you'll also get the 4 steps to FastTrack enhanced, that is the E, enhanced JCP certification, which stands for the Joint Certification Program certification for controlled technical documents. And that means export control technical documents. You'll learn a lot about how to get eJCP certified in, I think, under 14 days tops, at least the last time we did it, which was a few years back. But all the folks that have been taking the eJCP certification, I'm getting fantastic feedback. Now, keep in mind that it's managed by the U.S. Navy. They have recently released a portal that you have to submit your documents within as well. But the whole aspects of the steps, how to fill out the application, how to do the self-assessment, all that is part of this 4-step process that you will definitely need in order to get eJCP certified with the U.S. Navy in support of the DLA. That way, when you're on C folders and you're clicking on technical documents and it says, hey, you cannot access these technical control documents because you don't have eJCP certification. That's what that is. I consider it a bonus that you'll get within my 360-degree training program. And those 1, 2, 3 encompasses the 360-degree training program. You can find more information about that on screen at the www.thedlaguru.com. Hey, man, just log on to that website. get a little bit more information. If you do a pre-registration without even committing to the investment into the class, you'll also get access to some free videos that give you full outlines, video outlines of what you'll be getting in each one of those 3 classes as well. So, hey, why not go ahead and register for free? Doesn't cost you anything to register, and you get a lot of information about what those courses are to make sure you're aligning yourself with the information that you think you'll need in order to help you be successful with the DLA. And last but not least, guys, this is my very last program that I launched. Yes, I have a 90-day challenge. It's a 90-day challenge. I consider it my enterprise level challenge. It's great for beginners, but I kind of recommend for, once you get involved and kind of find a lane and you get a couple of DLA awards under your belt and you're looking to kind of scale your business and 10x your business, I do offer a 90-day training program. Again, a 90-day challenge that you also find more information about that on the website that you see on screen there, www.thedlaguru.com. That'll get you all the information that you guys need to kind of, hey, just see what the DLA Guru is cooking. Yes, let's see what we're cooking. All right, guys, it looks like we got a brigadier general that just came into the building. The timing is impeccable. Fantastic. We got a brigadier general that's in here today. So I'd like to thank just the general community, all my subscribers out there who are just absorbing all this free content. You know enough to scratch the surface, but if you really want to get involved and getting the cliff notes, the nitty gritty, the 20 years of experience that's under my cap and between my ears, the way you do it is by investing in some of the programs that I have that's based on your investment. You have to invest in the information because I spent 20 years of my life getting the information. It's not for the free, right? So that's what that's all about. Invest in me a little bit and I'll make sure I pay it 10 times forward to you. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how to get involved with me, and you're like, hey, I like the websites, but let me send you an email too. On screen there, you'll see that email. It's generic, but it comes straight to me, fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Let me make that a little bigger for those of you in the back of the building. fed.contracting@nmsupply.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what your condition may be. And, we can go ahead and figure out how we can connect, how I can potentially support you and your business and your journey to being a DLA Vendor Network community holder and a viable DLA vendor for the Defense Logistics Agency for your success in getting your piece of the $50 billion pie that's earmarked for 2025 fiscal year. All right. So hopefully you love today's content. Looks like we got 11 likes, 16 concurrent viewers. Hey, fantastic. You got a lot of viewers today. I really, really appreciate that. And for those of you who missed the live stream, you can always hit me on the replay. And don't forget, man, I got over 200 videos in my catalog. Hit the subscribe button. Be a part of this community today. Get invigorated so you can get your piece of the pie. And I'll see you guys. Definitely see you at the top.